We are but a collection of stories. It's how we understand the world. Inside the staggering rock, beneath the tundra, between the trees, there is a story here. They truly were the first people. From the 1200s to the late 1700s, the Ute tribe were the only people to brave the harsh Rocky Mountain climate, traveling along what is now called the Ute Trail. When you walk it, you can feel the history of the tribe still lingering in the air. It was in the early 1800s that the Arapaho tribe migrated into the park, pushing the Utes out to claim their hunting grounds. But their claim was quickly usurped with the discovery of gold in 1858, flooding the plains with white men seeking fortune. Many promises and treaties were made to both tribes, but eventually, they were all broken. And by 1880, the first people were gone from the land, erased.
Rocky Mountain National Park joined the system in 1915. And that was just 1 year before the National Park Service was founded. So we were getting started on projects here in Rocky as the burgeoning young National Park Service was coming on the scene. And Rocky was primarily a local effort. Many of the national parks had organizations and agencies which helped to promote them. But Rocky was local people here from the Estes Park, Colorado Front Range area. One man in particular was a naturalist named Enos Mills.
The father of Rocky Mountain National Park. It was Enos Mills' life mission to designate the Rocky Mountains as a protected area. He spent years lobbying Congress, even proposing the original boundaries of the park. With the help of James Grafton Rogers, the president of the Colorado Mountain Club, they formed the legislation that established Rocky Mountain. Opposition came in the form of mining, logging, and agricultural groups, but with compromise, they reached an agreement that came in the form of shrinking the original boundaries from 1,000 square miles to a mere 358.
There are many threats facing Rocky Mountain National Park. These include bark beetles, wildfires, invasive flora and fauna, and growing elk populations. The greatest threat Rocky Mountain is facing, though, is us.
We love our visitors, but we are being loved to death. The national park could handle up to 250,000 visitors a year. Last year we had 4.6 million.
Rocky Mountain National Park has managed the threats of overtourism by restricting the amount of vehicles that can go to certain places within the park. They only allow in as many cars as there are parking spots. Oftentimes visitors will wait in multi-hour lines just to be told that they have to turn around.
Overtourism is getting so bad that unless you show up extremely early or extremely late to the park, you probably won't be able to hike the major trails simply because there is no room to park. The locals at Estes Park, which lies right outside Rocky Mountain, rely on tourism for their livelihood. How do you put limitations on the very thing that puts food on your table? Practical ways to manage overtourism have to be created, or the park may very well lose everything that makes it so special to the people all around the world.
The sustainable management of tourism requires the development of partnerships between protected area managers, the tourism industry, and the local community. The Rocky Mountain National Park uses this management principle by utilizing the Commercial Services Strategy, or the CSS. The CSS is developed through a variety of inputs of stakeholders, park staff, rangers, and the public. What the CSS allows Rocky Mountain National Park to do is describe park conditions for visitors and commercial use such as gift shops and recreational activities, outline relevant management plans, and evaluate commercial services, to name a few. It is important that visitor use is managed sustainably as part of the overall protected area management framework, and effective management evaluates visitor impacts. To be frank, Rocky Mountain National Park is still trying to figure out how to handle over-tourism, and they don't have a solid management plan that is available to the public yet.
Don't know what that is.
This was a journey trying to capture the story of Rocky Mountain National Park. And there's still so much to the story to be told. The future is unclear, and with the changing climate, that can be kind of scary. So we'll leave you with this. As Paul Hawkins says, when asked if I am pessimistic or optimistic about the future, my answer is always the same. If you look at the science that describes what is happening on Earth and aren't pessimistic, you don't have the data. Yet, if you meet the people in this unnamed movement and aren't optimistic, you haven't got a heart.
And that's a wrap, folks.